On this, we're joined by legal advocate Jazz Vilakazi this evening. Jazz, good evening. Thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. How does the withdrawal of charges work in law? What does that mean effectively for those who either have been charged or for the NPA who pursued the charges?
Thank you for having me on your show. Well, in law, it basically means that the NPA has put up its hand and said, listen, we don't have enough evidence to continue with this prosecution. I suppose it also is a tacit admission that they were hasty in having these people charged without having the proper evidence before them in order to sustain a conviction.
Yeah, there's also a sense that the entire pursuit was vexatious at best and perhaps, malicious at worst. Given that it's somewhere in the spectrum between those 2 points, what sort of recourse do those who have been charged have in this instance, if any at all?
Well, I would agree with you that it sat between vexatious and malicious indeed, because we've now heard from the Madlanga Commission that the Brigadier was in fact qualified. Now, it's quite a headache for the NPA because now they face lawsuits over unlawful arrest, unlawful detention, as well as internal disciplinary proceedings and grievances that can be taken against management in that regard.
Yeah, and oftentimes, do courts entertain this, or do they simply say, well, the NPA had all the while in good intentions, they just didn't have sufficient evidence?
Well, the courts can definitely entertain it. In fact, there's two forums that will entertain it. The lawsuit will definitely go to court. And the NPA will have to come again and present its evidence and why they arrested effectively before they were quite sure of their charges. The second one is the internal issues, which are, grievance charges which are laid against management and that sort of thing. So it's quite actually, in fact, a headache for the NPA now because, in effect, they've admitted that they were not even out of the starting blocks with these charges.
Yeah, and just lastly, and I think importantly, can these charges be brought back?
Well, yes, charges can always be brought back if the state tends to find more evidence. Of course, we now know that in this situation, the head of the NPA representations or perhaps consultations will have to be had with him prior to these charges being reinstated again. And obviously, they will then also go potentially to a judge or magistrate for him to test them prior to them being reinstated.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to leave it there. Jazz Vilakazi, thank you so much for your time. Really do appreciate it. Advocate Vilakazi is a legal analyst.